We requested Nate Olson join us. He's with us right now. He is from ScorebookLive.com. Nate, what do you got going on today? How are you?
Well, I'm doing awesome. It's just another wonderful day, a beautiful fall day at Olson headquarters, Scorebook Live in Bryant, in beautiful Saline County. Just here with the dogs, turning out some copy and doing some research, reading about some high school football. So you can request me anytime, and I will answer. And I love that song. It's a great song.
Tuesdays 12:30 until the end of the high school football season. If we could put that request in now.
Nate, I'm there.
Nate, last week I know we talked about Parkview, and they had been, they dominated over their first few games this year. Go into Lake Hamilton, safe to say, an upset that you might not have seen coming, dropping 24-14 to Lake Hamilton.
Yeah. Lake Hamilton wins 24-14, and Lake Hamilton has kind of stood pat the whole year. We've had them near the top 10, the whole year, and they haven't really played, a great opponent. So we knew they were good. They lost their running back, Owen Miller. He's trying to play different positions, but not running back. And so Justin Crutcher has filled in more than averably. In this game, has a breakout game, 173 yards and a touchdown. And Kevin Hughes and Grant Bearden also scored touchdowns. And the biggest thing here is that James Jointer from Parkview didn't go off in this game. He had almost 300 yards against Greenwood. They contained him, and they did it with their defense, and they also did it with holding on to the ball. So, Parkview only had 12 plays, 12 offensive plays in the first half. So that's vintage Tommy Gillerin, Lake Hamilton football. You grind it out. You keep it on the ground. There was a hostile crowd there in Lake Hamilton. That's a great place for a football game. And it just played right into their hands. They've been looking for a game like this, I think, the whole year, and they got it, and they played well. And Parkview, who is one of the hottest teams around, went down there and lost. But they're going through this gauntlet. They had to play Greenwood. They play Lake Hamilton. Now they play at Benton. And two of those three were on the road. So I still like Parkview a lot. But I think Lake Hamilton was kind of laying in wait for them. It was a perfect storm being at home, and they did a great job picking up that win. They are one of the best teams in the state, regardless of class. They can go toe-to-toe with a lot of teams with a big offensive line. Chase Jessup, who's, I think, committed to Arkansas State, and some good running backs. I mean, you lose your all-time leading rusher, and then Miller, and then Crusher comes in, and he's run for 600-700 yards and 173 in a game. That's pretty good.
Nate, you got me excited last week. You thought that Springdale had a legitimate shot against Bentonville West Wolverines, and it was when it was all said and done, it was 4-0, and we got a running clock. So, does Springdale have a better shot this week against crosstown rival in Harbor?
I'm just going to be honest with you. No, they don't. I don't mean to be negative. I really thought that game was going to be closer. You've got to give a lot of credit. Of course, you were there and saw it. Bentonville West, they've got a young offense, a young quarterback, but they came to play. I think what they looked at was, if we're going to stick around, in this upper echelon of this conference, we've got to win this game. This is a game we must win. I think their coach is probably telling them that all week long. This is a winnable game. If we want to be in the top 3 or 4 of the league, we've got to win this. We've got to bounce back. They did. Didn't turn the ball over like they did against Fayetteville, and they did a good job. Springdale, looked like they didn't really know what hit them. And so this week, Harbor comes to town, and Harbor is kind of doing this resurgence tour where they went 0-4 the last 2 years and then used this pushier part of the schedule to get going. And so I don't see it being a close game. I'm sorry to tell you that. Maybe I'm just going to be honest with you because I don't want you to be disappointed. That way, Springdale does play well and they happen to win. Well, then I'll admit I'm wrong, eat crow, and you won't be disappointed. But I think Harbor is playing better and getting a little more confidence. You get that win under your belt. They played Heritage, ran for over 300 yards, should run for a lot of yards again this week too. they have a good offense. They've just had a hard time hanging onto the ball. But Hudson Brewer, he's a great running back. Run for a lot of yards this year, and Luke Buchanan's a good quarterback. So I expect him to put up some points again. I wouldn't think this would be close. And I think Springdale has only beaten them twice since they started playing in 06. So one of them was in 18, and the other one was the first year they started. So not a great track record for Springdale there.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'd like them to win, Nate, but just like so many other broadcasters know, win or lose, I still get paid. So at the end of the day, It doesn't matter. But you like to call a winner.
No, you do, and that's a team that has a lot of tradition. They did, and then and you know when the school split, that hurt them a lot. But I still think Coach Hobbs, and you know him better than I do. You probably got to know him well at broadcasting the games, but I covered him as a player, and that's the kind of guy you need at a program like that. Somebody that remembers the days when they were good and has pride in the program. That's the kind of guy you need. And Zach Clark, he's doing a great job at Searcy. He did his best at Springdale. They had some highlights while he was there. Just couldn't quite get him over the hump. But I like him a lot as a coach. But Hobbs, I think they have the right guy, and it's just going to be a process. You've got to get everything built up, and all these good programs. Some of that started from scratch. It's starting in the weight room, the attitude, but you're also in a league where it has been very competitive over the years, and now might be the time where it's not as competitive to kind of try to make a run. But we'll see how it goes. I wouldn't be too discouraged. This year it might be kind of tough, but hopefully he can get, for the Bulldogs fans, he can get something going there and get it rebuilt.
Yeah, you surely hope so. But it's not. It's one of those things not going to be done overnight. Another game that you seem to be pretty high on that you want to preview, Greenbriar at Harrison. How's that matchup going to go?
Well, Greenbriar is undefeated. Farmington came in there a couple weeks ago and beat them, snapped their 22-game winning streak in the conference, snapped a home winning streak. I don't think that's set very well with them. And Greenbriar is a little bit like Lake Hamilton. They have beaten Arkadelphia, who's in the lower class. A couple other wins. They're undefeated. But this is the biggest game of the season for them, the toughest test. And I think Harrison's kind of like, fool me once, shame on me. Shame on you, fool me twice. They're going to be ready for this game is what I'm saying. And so I think it's going to be a big one for Cooper Wilcox. He's their quarterback at Greenbriar. He is a do-everything kind of guy. He can run the ball. He's a good passer. They rely on him a great deal. So what it's really going to come down to is, can Harrison slow him down? And if they can, they'll be able to win the game. Their defense is very good. They did give up a lot of points to Farmington, 26 in a row to be exact. And they had them really stymied. And then there were some turnovers involved and block punts involved in that too. So that was a big deal. So if you play solid defense on Wilcox, if you can control the ball, they've got a much improved quarterback in Logan Plumley, probably one of the better quarterbacks in all the state. He threw for 237 yards last week, and they relied on Brody Gillum. He's one of their linebackers. He stepped in as a running back. He ran for 130 yards. So that's still a team that I have circled as a team that can go to Little Rock, and that was a setback against Farmington, but it wasn't the end of the year. This is a game that if they can win, they're right there still for a conference championship. And Bologna is undefeated, so need a little bit of help for Farmington to lose again. Then they would play Bologna. If they could beat them, they might share the championship, or Bologna loses. So it's a big game for them. Greenbriar wins, they're kind of have a leg up for a conference title. So very, very big game. We'll be really interested to see what happens up there.
Nate, appreciate you, man. Enjoy the games this weekend. Look forward to talking about it again
We're
next
back
week.
and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another football season. As always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all the pro and college football action this season. With the new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the #1 source for everything football. Head to your website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of these amazing offers for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.